Nico, could you just tell us what you like about Melvin?
Melvin, 6'8", athletic, can shoot 3 and D. He's young. He just turned 20 yesterday.
Right.
So, really young, huge upside. We just like the way he plays. I mean, he has a chance to be really good. Last year he was Pro B, Young Player of the Year. This year he played in Pro A and played really well. So we're excited about the opportunity.
I know he's going to be in the summer league. When do you expect him in town in Dallas?
We don't. I mean, it just happened, so we haven't even had a chance to really figure out what we're going to do and how he's, when he's going to come in. But his agent lives here, so I'm assuming that he's been working out here. Buna?
Whose game does he remind you of in the league?
Whose game? I got to come back to you on that. I mean, he's a typical. I mean, he's 6'8". He's 6'8". He's athletic. He can finish at the rim. He can shoot it, and he can defend. So he's just young. He's still developing. But if you think of your typical athletic 3 and D wing, that's what I would kind of put him as.
Nico, what is it about that position, the small forward, power forward, 3 and D wing, that is making teams so successful? Obviously, you just went against a Boston Celtics team that have a lot of them. But what is it about that position that makes teams more versatile?
When you have a really good one, it opens up all the options. They can guard multiple positions. They can obviously make threes and finish, and it's like a coveted position. It's just so versatile.
You anticipate him on the roster next year as a two-way, or could he perhaps continue playing in Europe for a little bit?
Yeah, I think the beauty of him being a European player is we have a lot of optionality, and I think both things are on the table. We don't have a lot of roster spots available, so I think that's the beauty of his age and the fact that he is playing in Europe, that we can kind of figure it out as we go.
I hate to go against the draft, but Luka does seem primed to play for Slovenia for the Olympic qualifier. Just if he plays tomorrow, it'll be 10 days removed for Game 5. What's the concern level with him coming off a long NBA season and then going straight into playing for his national team?
I don't even know what day it is. No, there's no concern. Luka, you all know Luka loves playing for his national team. He'll be cautious. It's a friendly game. So I don't expect that he's going to play, crazy minutes. The games are shorter. No concern at all.
Thank you for your time today. You mentioned Melvin being young, just turning 20, but outside of the game of basketball, it's a spontaneous and exciting moment for him as well. What advice have you maybe given him about this new transition?
I haven't given him any advice. I just told him we're excited to get him in, and just said we're ready to go. And he thanked us, and great kid, speaks amazing English, and he's really excited. So we're excited as well.
Nico, this is your first draft without Dennis Lindsey, or after Dennis Lindsey took the position with the Pistons. What did you learn from him in his time in Dallas?
Dennis, the good thing about Dennis is he has a lot of history. He's been in a lot of elite positions, been the lead executive of 3 different teams, and so he has the history. So being able to lean on his experience has been great. I learned a lot from him. More importantly, though, he's just like a friend. He's become a friend. So he's someone I can go to for advice and vice versa. So that actually is not going to change. We just won't be talking about our respective teams.
Nico, as you go into the summer league, you already said Max is playing, but the other guys on the team, when you try to fill out that team, what goes behind your decision process when you look for players for summer league? Is it guys that fit the scheme of your team, or is it just getting the best players available to get a closer look at them?
Yeah, good question. So Terry Sullivan, he's the G League GM, and so he kind of runs process with that along with Matt Riccardi. And really, the way we start is our guys that are coming to play. So whether it's Omax, Brandon Williams, AJ Lawson, the guys from our team that are going to play, that's kind of how we start. Alex Fudge. And then we build a team around them, like what guys can support them, allow them to be able to play at their best. So that's kind of where we started out at.
Nico, this is more of a more general question, but being in the war room on draft day, like we're hearing on ESPN that Melvin just got what Mavs traded up for him, but it doesn't come official for 2 or 3 hours later. What's it like kind of being the GM in the draft room, and what goes into finalizing a trade like that that takes 2 or 3 hours?
It's different when you're doing it and you have a lottery pick. It's a little more, a little more adrenaline's pumping in the second round. It's just being strategic, you know. We were pleasantly surprised that Melvin was even available when he was, and so when we saw the opportunity for us to move up a couple spots, we did.
Nico, yesterday we saw 3 guys from France among the top 6 picks. Wemby, of course, last year the number 1 pick, and now Melvin. What do you attribute the uptick in all the talent from France coming into the NBA?
You know what? I think if you look at the Tony Parkers of the world, I think they kind of started it. And you know, if you've been to France at all in the last few years, like they have a huge basketball culture, huge. Jordan's done their K54 over there every year, and you'll feel like you're at Rutgers Park. You know, so the basketball culture is really prevalent over there, and I think the young kids are gravitating towards it.
Nico, with Melvin, what would you say is the number one thing that Mavs fans should be excited about him, whether he plays this year or not?
Number one thing, I would say his upside. He's just turned 20 years old. He's athletic. He can shoot the ball, and those types of players and positions are valuable.